Here in America, we are about to celebrate Thanksgiving, which is one of my favorite times of the year. But I can't pretend like this is just like any other Thanksgiving because it's not. What's been happening in Israel with Hamas attacking innocent civilians and taking hostages adds grief to what would normally be such a grateful and beautiful time of year. But even still, I love Thanksgiving. It's my favorite holiday. It's my favorite time of year. And with everything going on with Israel in the news and with how much I love Israel and the Jewish people, I couldn't help but wonder if Jews celebrate Thanksgiving. And it seems like a crazy question because obviously the Jews have their own holidays, they have their own celebrations and feasts. But I was curious, so I looked it up, and I found that Jews in America commonly celebrate Thanksgiving as a way to lean into their Americanness. And really, that doesn't surprise me, since the Jews have always been happy to acquiesce to any culture and to the bright sides of any country that they find themselves in. But what you might not have realized is that the Jews have a different holiday of giving thanks to the Lord that actually lasts a week long, known as Sukkot. During this time of year, Israel remembers their wandering in the wilderness for 40 years. And some of the observing Jews even build booths to commemorate the blessings of God throughout their wilderness wanderings when they left Egypt and came to the Promised Land. The final days of this Thanksgiving week this year was the date that we will never forget, 10/7. And it made me think, what if Thanksgiving this year were different than all the rest? I want you to grasp this in our American culture. I want you to understand what the Israelis experienced. It would be like the day that you planned on making the turkey and watching football and finishing making desserts and having family over to celebrate Thanksgiving. But instead of any of that happening, you wake up early in the morning to gunshots, to shouting in Arabic, to desperate text messages from your family members across town, horrifying notifications on the news that you get on your phone, and a nightmare that goes on for more than the next month. And it's still going on. Now, I hope that you don't have to even think about this scenario as you celebrate your Thanksgiving, but the Jews lived it, and they're still living it. And to continue this hypothetical, every able-bodied man in your nation would be arming himself and reporting to the military on Thanksgiving, and being assigned to his unit the day after Thanksgiving to fight a war for the rescue of your captured loved ones and for the existence of your nation. How would that be for a Thanksgiving? Here's a brief history lesson. Thanksgiving in America was actually modeled after the Feast of Sukkot. You see, the pilgrims who came to America saw themselves as a version of the Old Testament Jews who were led to the Promised Land. Now, they carried their analogy too far because they held to what's called replacement theology, which is absolutely terrible. It's awful. I hate it. But they almost adopted the Jewish feast of Sukkot, the last day of their Thanksgiving feast that lasted for a week, in order to commemorate their coming to what they deemed as the Promised Land, the New World, America, and to celebrate their safe arrival to this brand new country and their struggle to get here. So as an American, as a Christian, I love the Jews. I recognize not only that they are God's chosen people, but that they have brought so much good to the world, including, in a way, Thanksgiving. And this Thanksgiving, they will be in my thoughts and prayers because what they went through on their Thanksgiving, a day that we will never forget. 10/7.